my confident and honest Aries friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Aries, there's a particular restlessness carrying you into this week. It's as if joy wants to spill over, but something about it feels precarious, almost as if you're watching yourself from the outside. You might notice how easily laughter comes, and yet when the room quiets, a subtle tension lingers. It's not disappointment exactly, nor is it relief. It's more a sense that the surface doesn't quite match what's stirring below. You may find yourself surrounded by company or drawn into shared moments, and still, there's a flicker of wondering if anyone else senses the small ache behind the smiles. There's warmth, yes, but the warmth brings its own questions. You may be asking yourself if connection is enough, or if it's merely a gentle distraction from something deeper you haven't named yet. This unspoken feeling isn't a flaw, it's simply the invisible seam holding together the exuberance and the quiet that follows. You carry it with you softly, through every greeting and every fleeting embrace, aware of what's present, but also of what's just beyond your reach. In the heart of this, the 3 of Cups appears. Here, the gathering energy around you is unmistakable. There's a sense of being woven into the fabric of your community, of finding yourself at the center of shared laughter, spontaneous plans, or even just familiar faces. It feels good to be seen, to be included, to have your place among others. Yet underneath the lightness there is a subtle pressure. It's the pressure to keep the mood high, to match the energy, to keep your own inner complexities tucked away for another time. This week you might feel the pull to say yes to every invitation, to lean into group momentum, to let the crowd carry you. And while that brings comfort, there's also an edge, an awareness that the group's rhythm isn't always your own. Perhaps you find yourself listening more than speaking, or cracking a joke to fill a pause you're not sure anyone else noticed. You may cherish the way others draw you out, and at the same time feel a longing for a moment that belongs only to you, unscripted and unshared. There's a beauty in how you bridge these worlds. Part of you wants to belong fully, to dissolve into the joy around you, while another part quietly keeps watch, making sure you don't lose yourself in the process. In these moments, your emotional posture is both open and guarded. You're willing to celebrate, but you also sense how easily celebration can tip into performance. As the week unfolds, you may notice small cues, a glance, a silence, an old memory, that remind you how connection heals, but also how it sometimes asks you to set aside what you really feel. That tension is real, and it's not asking to be solved, only noticed. From this place of inner mingling, belonging and separateness, joy and self-protection, the current of your week begins to shift. The sense of needing to keep up with others, to sustain the tempo, becomes more than just a choice. It starts to feel like a force in motion. You move from wondering about your place in the group to feeling the pressure to steer the group's energy, or at least to keep yourself moving forward within it. Your own desires begin to surface, prodded by the friction between what you're invited into and what you truly want. The inner state, with its blend of celebratory belonging and quiet questioning, creates momentum. It's as if something deep within you decides that if you're going to be part of this, you might as well shape it on your own terms. That's where the next current begins to rise. The chariot emerges as the force animating your path. Suddenly, the week is less about drifting with the crowd and more about directing your own movement through it. There's momentum behind you, a sense of acceleration that comes from both necessity and desire. You might notice how easily your days fill up, how plans stack one after another, leaving little room to pause. The pressure to keep going is real, whether it's work, social obligations, or even your own ambitions urging you onward. Friction arises when your own needs begin to rub against what's expected of you. Maybe you feel the urge to take charge, to assert a direction, to say yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. Yet with every decision, every act of steering, you encounter the tension between pleasing others and honoring yourself. There's a certain pride in how you handle this, Aries. You rarely back down from a challenge, and this week, the challenge is about balance. The Chariot doesn't ask you to withdraw from the world, it asks you to move through it with intention. You find yourself navigating competing priorities, moving swiftly from one responsibility to the next, sometimes propelled by excitement, sometimes by a sense that if you stop moving, something essential will be missed. The friction is not just external, deadlines, obligations, other people's expectations. It's also internal, as you wrestle with how much of yourself to give and how much to keep in reserve. Even in moments of triumph, there's a restlessness. You're driven, but the drive is double-edged. It brings accomplishment, but it can also leave you feeling stretched thin. The path is dynamic, not static. Every choice you make, every boundary you set has ripple effects. The pressures you feel are not punishments, they are reminders of your own agency. This week, you are both the one being pulled and the one doing the pulling, learning to feel the difference between the two. It becomes clear that the possibility for something deeper depends on how you meet these currents. You could let momentum sweep you along, joining in, keeping up, doing what's expected, or you could pause even briefly to question what you're chasing and why. The choice isn't simple or obvious. It's about whether you're content to ride the wave, or if you're willing to notice where you might need to step aside to listen, to sift through the noise for what genuinely matters. The potential here isn't automatic. It's born in the pause, in the willingness to step back from the rush and see yourself not just as a participant, but as an observer of your own experience. The week's gifts are not handed to you, they are revealed slowly as you make space for them to emerge. The hermit settles quietly into this story, not as a withdrawal, but as an invitation to turn toward your own inner guidance. Growth this week isn't about conquering the social scene or winning every battle for your place. Instead, it's about letting yourself retreat for a moment, not away from others but back into yourself. There's a richness waiting in the quiet. You may find that, after all the celebration and striving, a gentle solitude feels restorative. The hermit's presence invites you to trust what arises in those calm spaces, the subtle answers to your unspoken questions, the realization that your own company at times is enough. You might notice insights coming not as thunderclaps, but as soft understandings, what truly matters, what you want to carry forward, and what you're ready to release. The invitation isn't to abandon the world, but to remember that your sense of direction comes from within, not from the crowd. Here, growth is slow and steady. It's the kind that doesn't demand applause. You may come to appreciate the difference between being alone and being lonely, and in that difference, a quiet kind of confidence emerges. The hermit marks a turning point, the moment where you recognize that all the outward movement is only as meaningful as the inner clarity that guides it. This is not a promise of perfect peace, but a gentle assurance that what you seek is already within reach, if you give yourself permission to look for it. As the week draws to a close, the threads of these three energies weave together. The shared laughter and community of the Three of Cups, the determined momentum and challenge of the Chariot, and the spacious, reflective wisdom of the Hermit, each plays a role in how you experience your days. You may find yourself cycling through them, sometimes within the same afternoon, gathering with others, feeling the push to keep up, and then longing for a moment of quiet release. None of these states are wrong. Each one reveals something about who you are and what you need right now. The tension between belonging and authenticity, between effort and ease, is not something to fix, but something to understand. There's a comfort in seeing how these parts of you coexist. When you can honor your desire to connect, your hunger for progress, and your need for solitude, you bring a gentle balance to your week. You don't have to choose one over the other. Instead, you can let each inform the next. Celebration making space for movement, movement reminding you to pause, quiet reflection deepening your sense of what matters most. Even when it feels confusing, you are not lost. There is reassurance in knowing that you can hold joy and longing, action and rest, community and solitude all at once. This is not a contradiction, it's a sign of your wholeness. Let yourself settle into the knowledge that every feeling has a place, and every experience this week is part of a larger pattern that supports you, even when you can't see it clearly. In the end, the pressure eases, and you are left with a quiet certainty that you have met the moment with honesty and care. Actionable insights for Aries this week. Let yourself linger in a shared moment without needing to shape it. Try stepping away from the noise, even for a few minutes, to see what arises in the quiet. Notice when you feel pulled in too many directions and gently return your attention to what feels most nourishing right now. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I belong wherever I am fully present. My pace is my own to choose. It is safe for me to pause. Clarity comes from honoring my own rhythm. I trust what I find in stillness. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.